All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are putting together a playbook for what might be one of the biggest challenges in tech right now. How do you get modern, powerful AI to play nicely with your critical legacy systems? Without completely torching your roadmap. It's a tricky dance, but it's one we all have to learn. So, at the very heart of this problem is this fundamental culture clash. On one hand, you've got your trusted legacy systems. They're monolithic, they're built for batch processing, and a lot of them speak older languages like SOAP or XML. And on the other side, you've got the fast, agile, data-hungry world of modern AI. It expects real-time data, it lives in the cloud, and it wants flexible, RESTful APIs. Trying to bridge that gap? Yeah, that's a massive, massive challenge. And believe me, this isn't some niche problem that only a few companies face. We're talking about over 90%. A whopping 90% of organizations say they have serious trouble getting AI to work with their existing systems. It's not an edge case. For most companies, it is the number one barrier to getting anything done. And the stakes here are incredibly high. Gartner's predicting that over 40% of these big autonomous AI projects, they're just going to be abandoned. Not because the AI model is bad, but simply because the old systems they need to talk to just can't keep up. That's a total roadmap killer. Okay, so let's really dive into what I call the legacy AI trap. It's so tempting to think, oh, we'll just bolt on an AI feature. But that approach, it almost never works. We got to understand the constraints that turn these seemingly simple projects into absolute roadmap disasters. The truth is, your legacy system is probably a minefield. It's a big monolith of tightly coupled code, where you change one little thing over here and something totally unexpected breaks over there. Your data is probably trapped in silos, integrations happen through these slow, overnight batch jobs, and get this, a staggering 70% of IT effort is just spent on keeping the lights on. This is all the hidden stuff that causes that dreaded scope creep and just blows up your timelines. So here's the most crucial point. Success is not about trying to brute force your way through with code. It's all about laying the right strategic groundwork before your team ever writes a single line of code. Honestly, this is where you either win or lose the battle. So here are the 4 things you have to do. First, you've got to audit everything. The architecture, the data quality, all that tech debt you know is lurking. Second, don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one high-impact, low-risk use case to get a quick win on the board. Third, get everybody in the room from day one. IT, security, the business leaders. And finally, create a realistic roadmap, one that's honest about the challenges you found in that audit. All right, now for the fun part, the core technical strategy. It really all revolves around one incredibly powerful principle. You have to decouple the new from the old. This is how you innovate on top of a legacy system without, breaking it. So a proven way to do this is something called API wrapping. The best way to think about it is like building a beautiful modern facade on an old historic building. You create this clean modern API that all your new AI services can talk to, and then that API handles all the messy translation needed to talk to the legacy core behind the scenes. You get to add all the smart features you want without touching the original fragile structure. It's brilliant. And it's not just API wrapping. You've got a whole toolkit here. You can start to gradually peel off functions into their own microservices. You can use a hybrid cloud approach, keep the legacy system right where it is, on-prem, but run your heavy-duty AI models in the cloud. Or you can use an event bus as a kind of buffer, so a slow AI call doesn't grind your entire legacy application to a halt. You see the pattern here? It's all about creating layers of separation. And this is how you actually execute the journey. It is not a risky all-or-nothing big bang release. No way. It's a manageable, phased roadmap that lets you deliver real value at every single step. You start with a small pilot in the first few months, and then you can gradually refactor the core system over time. Now this slide right here, this is the payoff. With a phased integration, you can deliver tangible business value in under a year. Now compare that to a full rip and replace project, where you might not see any results for 3, 4, 5 years, and that's if the project even succeeds at all. I mean, when you look at it this way, the choice is pretty clear, right? So we've got our playbook, but look, having a plan and actually executing it safely are 2 very different things. How do you innovate and move fast without compromising the stability of the core systems that literally run your entire business? That That is the key question that every single tech leader is wrestling with. And the answer isn't some magic silver bullet. It's a set of disciplined, best practices that create a crucial safety net for you and your team. Think of these as your safety net. You gotta use feature flags so you can instantly turn a new AI feature off if something goes wrong. Always, and I mean always, have a fallback to the old process. You need robust monitoring to catch issues before they turn into catastrophes. And please, establish clear governance from day one so you're not scrambling to fix security or compliance issues down the road. And look, this isn't just theory. Check out what the PGA Tour's media team did. They had this transcription system that was really struggling with all the golf-specific jargon. But instead of ripping it out, they did something much smarter. They surgically inserted a Gen AI service as a cleanup step. And the result? They slashed their error rate from 15% all the way down to just 2%. A huge improvement in accuracy, saved tons of manual work, and they did it all without touching their core workflow. Okay, so let's bring this all together into one final actionable takeaway. How do we start thinking about our legacy systems not as an obstacle, but as a launchpad for innovation? Just remember these 4 core principles. 1, strategy always comes first. 2, decouple everything using smart architecture. 3, phase your rollout so you can deliver value and learn as you go. And 4, always innovate with a safety net of best practices. That's it. Those are your keys to success. Ultimately, this completely reframes the entire conversation. Success isn't about who has the newest, shiniest tech. It's about who integrates most intelligently. So the final question I'll leave you with is this. What if your legacy system isn't an obstacle at all? What if it's the very foundation for your company's intelligent evolution?